today.
What happens when the queens of country toss Nashville's polite rulebook onto a smoky bonfire and let every secret scar and taboo headline bleed straight into the microphone? A sound that once promised front porch comfort suddenly crackles like a live wire, scandal sparking through the twang. From a breathy whisper that left 1950s radio blushing to present-day rebels, fearlessly name-checking psychedelics under neon arena lights, the saga of country's most provocative women has always lurked just outside the official narrative, daring anyone listening to lean closer than the gatekeepers allow. Our journey jolts awake in 1959, inside a dim studio fragrant with cigarette smoke, where April Stevens leans toward a silver microphone and exhales 3 words so languid they melt the tape. "Teach me, Tiger." The orchestra behind her purrs, brass horns curling around each syllable like lazy claws. Within 24 hours of release, regional programmers yank the single, convinced its sultry sigh could ignite teenage riots. Moral guardians condemn its indecency, while jukebox owners quietly order extra copies. Soldiers in overseas barracks request the song by name, tapping out its forbidden melody on mess hall tables. Stevens never apologizes, she simply smiles, reminding skeptics that curiosity sells more records than sermons ever could. 17 summers roll by and modesty curtains rip again, this time by a coal miner's daughter with a steely gaze. Loretta Lynn records The Pill in 1972 after watching friends stagger under near-annual pregnancies. Her label shelves the master tape, fearing conservative wrath. For 3 tense years, Lynn waits, fuming that women deserve songs as honest as men's barroom anthems. In 1975, she issues an ultimatum: release the track or she will. Radio bans it in dozens of markets, yet rural women hide the 45 under recipe books and spin it on kitchen turntables, letting its subversive beat rattle glass spice jars. Urban dorms blast it from open windows, turning campus quads into impromptu dance floors. The controversy converts silence into platinum, and Lynn cements herself as country's fiercest truth-teller. Just as Loretta's honesty rattles the pews, a dazzling titan named Dolly Parton pirouettes center stage, fringed sleeves sparkling like stardust. Early critics gripe that her curve-hugging dresses are too provocative for wholesome audiences. Dolly responds by adding more rhinestones, more humor, and more strategic sweetheart charm. Beneath the glitter, she hides literary sharpness. Jolene reframes female desire as competitive ache, while 9 to 5 turns office drudgery into pop protest. Executives who once dismissed her as novelty finally realize she's quietly collected publishing rights, theme park blueprints, and a literacy foundation, all while wearing 6-inch heels. Her rebellion is velvet-gloved but razor-edged, and every sparkle doubles as armor. If Dolly's revolution glitters, Tammy Wynette's bleeds. By the late 70s, tabloids trail her like stray dogs, sniffing out every hospital visit, rumored kidnapping, and whispered painkiller relapse. Crowds belt, "Stand by your man," yet gossip newsletters label her hypocrite or martyr, depending on the week. That tension, between a hymn of devotion and the reality of 5 divorces, renders each performance electric. You can hear it in the quiver of her vibrato, a reminder that loyalty costs more than country radio ever admits. Fast forward to 1996, Mindy McCready, 20 years old with a platinum smile, rockets to fame on the wings of 10,000 Angels, yet headlines pivot from chart positions to chaos. Late-night DUI stops, courtroom drama, on-again, off-again romances splashed across talk shows, and a leaked tape triggering bidding wars among tabloids. Each breach of privacy intensifies public fascination, transforming her concerts into voyeuristic confessionals. McCready's willingness to discuss addiction and depression forces country to confront wounds it prefers to romanticize. Her tragedy becomes warning flair. Fame can amplify pain until it echoes louder than any steel guitar solo. As the millennium flips, sensual imagery becomes currency, and Faith Hill spends it lavishly. The Breathe video unfurls like silk across CMT screens, Hill glowing in candlelight, camera lingering on bare shoulders that feel intimate yet commanding. Some viewers call it soft focus scandal, yet the single storms pop, adult contemporary, and country charts at once. Awards follow, proving desire can coexist with dobro riffs. Hill's success primes the genre for a new kind of crossover queen. Faith's candlelit sophistication opens the gates, yet another provocateur soon arrives in cut-off denim and high heels. Jessica Simpson, fresh from reality TV fame and her Daisy Duke portrayal, claims her Texas roots and heads to Nashville. Pundits scoff that pop polish can't pass the Opry's authenticity exam, but her 2008 single Come On Over debuts higher than any first release by a female artist in a decade. The video shows her tossing hay bales in a cropped plaid shirt, wholesome and suggestive at once. Fans replay the clip millions of times, and the album Do You Know, featuring a duet with Dolly, goes gold even as commentators debate sincerity. By tour's end, she proves sensual imagery and southern twang can two-step without missing a beat. That embrace of spectacle collides perfectly with the internet's insatiable hunger for images. Videos that once premiered in weekly television blocks now land on laptops at midnight, where click counts function as currency. Labels drop teaser clips hinting at lace on Tuesday, then release acoustic edits on Thursday, tweaking scandal like a volume knob. With each experiment, the genre's horizon stretches, growing from front-porch confessionals to global meme fodder in less than a verse. Kacey Musgraves studies those algorithms, then paints her own cheat codes in pastel hues. After the hazy bliss of Golden Hour sweeps the Grammys, she unveils Star-Crossed, a breakup epic mixing Catholic iconography, flamenco guitar, and auto-tuned sighs. Critics bristle at burning wedding gowns inside a neon chapel. Musgraves replies by wearing lavender armor on MTV and singing through holographic butterflies, turning personal upheaval into arena fireworks while collecting outrage and applause in equal measure. Nikki Lane and Margot Price choose a grittier route, fastening activism directly to their guitar straps. Lane funds studio sessions by selling retro denim in her high-class hillbilly boutique, then turns the parking lot into a stage for benefit gigs supporting women's shelters. Her music crackles with diesel fumes and motel ashtrays, and she curses industry sexism without flinching. Price's resume reads like a Steinbeck heroine armed with a Telecaster, Illinois farm kid, mother who pawned wedding rings to fund recordings, and protest singer unafraid to park her bus at the Capitol. When lawmakers tighten reproductive rights, she leads a concert on the lawn, shrugging at warnings that activism might alienate ticket buyers. "I don't sing for cowards," she laughs, strumming louder. Their stories intertwine with wider shifts in technology, politics, and gender expectations, and each milestone deserves a closer look. April Stevens toured supper clubs while her infamous single climbed the charts, threading torch song elegance through lounges thick with smoky anticipation. Within weeks, paranoia blossomed, yet she stood firm, calmly noting that a whisper often outruns a shout. Loretta Lynn's rebellion stretched well beyond the pill. Earlier, she shocked listeners with Rated X, a tart commentary on branding divorced women. She showcased it in church basements and VFW halls where whispers turned to whoops, proving rural crowds craved blunt honesty. Lynn wrote late into the night at her kitchen table, scribbling lyrics between tending a newborn and canning vegetables, turning domestic routine into studio gold. Her knack for cloaking activism in relatable twang let audiences embrace feminism before knowing the word. Dolly Parton weaponized humor like no artist before her. At press conferences, she'd wink, declaring, "It costs a fortune to look this cheap," diffusing criticism while owning the joke. She famously refused Elvis Presley's demand for half the publishing on I Will Always Love You. 2 decades later, Whitney Houston's rendition financed untold philanthropic ventures, including the Imagination Library that mails free books to toddlers worldwide. Tammy Wynette's life veers darker. Years of chronic pain from botched surgery feed an addiction strong enough to buckle a linebacker. She collapses backstage, revived with oxygen and prayer, then glides on stage delivering flawless high notes. In 1978, she reports being abducted at a mall. Police never find the assailant, and tabloids trumpet conspiracy theories louder than her own choruses. Mindy McCready's downfall unfolds in cruel slow motion. Early interviews show a shy Florida teenager dazzled by sudden wealth. By 25, she pawns platinum plaques for legal fees. The infamous tape leaks during a custody battle, vaporizing fragile sobriety. She attempts comebacks twice, once on reality TV, once via crowd-funded album, each proving talent can linger even when the industry turns its back. Faith Hill thrives as music videos become appointment television. Directors fly her to desert dunes, gowns billowing in scorching wind, while drones trace cinematic circles. One looping GIF across morning shows sells thousands of tickets. Critics calling her too glamorous forget country's eternal appetite for spectacle. She merely swaps sawdust for silk. Jessica Simpson's Detour offers a case study in audience fragmentation. Her ditzy charm persona pre-sells the narrative of a pop princess seeking roots. Yet she hires pedal steel legends, demands live takes, records in a decommissioned church to capture authentic reverb. Bloggers cry stunt. Ticket stubs reveal suburban moms and teen girls find the blend irresistible, proving sincerity can bloom inside commercial packaging. Kacey Musgraves pushes engagement with Easter egg craftsmanship. Before High Horse, she mails influencers perfume bottles branded with the title, a scented clue that trends before the track drops. Her merch table sells rolling papers stamped with rainbow horses, courting controversy and proclaiming allyship. She name-checks Townes Van Zandt and Daft Punk in one breath, mapping country's new, borderless frontier. Nikki Lane's defiance roars down every mile of her vintage motorcycle. She once rode 1,500 miles from a Nevada festival straight into a studio session, still coated in road dust. Her boutique doubles as a community hub where touring bands trade clothes for gas money and fans buy patches reading, "Honk if you're heartbroken." Margot Price, equally fearless, crashes a radio convention uninvited, guitar slung over her shoulder. She plays 3 songs in a hallway until security escorts her out. By morning, the footage racks up thousands of views and her single gets spins she'd been denied. She funnels royalties to bail funds and farm aid benefits. Declaring country began as protest music long before it became corporate wallpaper. The connective tissue among these artists is versatility, the knack for spinning stigma into momentum. They keep side hustles humming. Dolly plots TV series, Faith designs fragrances, Musgraves backs mushroom leather startups. When tabloids weaponize personal details, these women counter with memoirs, podcasts, and grants that outlast gossip. Industry bosses now package rebellion into marketing decks, yet authenticity remains unforgeable. Reverse-engineered controversy smells off within a chorus. Stevens, Lynn, and Parton teach that real risk carries personal stakes, reputation, relationships, safety placed squarely on the line. Without vulnerability, the show is cosplay, and country crowds sense the difference like a sour note in an otherwise perfect harmony. This lineage also tracks sexuality's evolving calculus. Early stars tiptoe, couching desire in metaphors about tigers and blue moons. By the 90s, directors frame Faith Hill's shoulders in slow motion. Today, Nikki Lane snaps Polaroids of backstage tattoos while Musgraves sells incense evoking desert trysts. What never changes is agency. Era by era, each icon defines a lure on her terms, making desire a declaration, not an invitation. Progress rarely moves in straight lines. Every bold lyric sparks pushback. Social media boycotts, playlist threats, watchdog billboards claiming country has lost its morals. The cycle spins like a steel guitar glide. Shock, outrage, acceptance, canonization. April Stevens once faced congressional scorn. 6 decades later, her band single plays in supermarket romance compilations. Panic fades, vinyl endures, humming proof that art survives alarm. Tour buses run on biofuel, TikTok stars record vocals on phones, hologram duets hover on the horizon, Yet provocation's essence endures. A woman steps to a microphone and tells the story elders warned her to bury. Somewhere a programmer groans, a teenager sits taller, and history takes one cautious, irreversible step forward. Backstage gossip aside, the financial math of controversy deserves its own verse. When Loretta Lynn risked boycotts, tour grosses jumped 30%, proving outrage functions as free promotion. Dolly Parton leveraged rumors about surgery into punchlines that sold tickets faster than radio ads. Mindy McCready's confessions spiked ratings for struggling talk shows, while Faith Hill's Too Sexy clip doubled album pre-sales. Digital autonomy empowers modern rebels. Musgraves curates her Instagram like a mood board of sunrises and kaleidoscopic animation. Nikki Lane live streams thrift shop hauls between songwriting sessions, monetizing rebellion that once scared labels. Margot Price crowdsources set lists on Twitter, turning followers into co-producers. Gatekeepers can shadow ban but can't silence an artist with her own Wi-Fi password. Cultural academics now dissect these performers in journals on Southern Gothic feminine, arguing April's whisper and Kacey's hologram share DNA. Both disrupt the myth of the obedient bell. Fans don't need footnotes. They feel the subversion when a lyric slices inherited shame and replaces it with possibility. Each song becomes a thesis on power. Who has it? Who fears it? Who seizes it with glitter-soaked hands? Looking forward, augmented reality stagecraft looms. Picture Kacey Musgraves handing fans smart glasses projecting constellations during a chorus, or Dolly Parton appearing as a towering hologram, strumming beside her younger self. Spectacle like that won't dilute the message. It will beam rebellion into every corner seat. Yet history isn't shaped only by headline names. Behind every marquee rebel stands a chorus of equally daring players whose contributions ripple outward, subtly shifting the genre's tectonic plates. Think of Terry Clark marching into radio offices with a Stetson and a sales graph, insisting stations spin "Girls Lie Too," even when playlists leaned male. Picture Valerie June blending Delta blues grit with banjo arpeggios, her towering hair becoming a visual manifesto for black women reclaiming space in twang. Recall Leanne Rimes disrupting family-friendly airwaves at 13, belting adult heartbreak with lung power that unsettled executives twice her age. Their collective impact appears every time a teenage songwriter uploads a demo from a bedroom draped in LED lights. She hears Clark's swagger, June's cosmic twang, Rhymes's unapologetic vulnerability, and realizes she can combine them without seeking permission. She will sample pedal steel riffs, loop trap percussion, and sing about body positivity, environmental panic, and late-night hookups in the same breath. Algorithms may question the target demographic. Audiences will decide with index finger taps. When that bedroom breakout inevitably faces outrage, she'll know she isn't alone. An invisible lineage of rebels stretches behind her like stage lights illuminating dust motes, proof that country's real tradition is fearless reinvention, sung in any accent, wrapped in any silhouette brave enough to step beyond the footlights. And somewhere in a forgotten archive, a scratched acetone disc and a viral TikTok waveform will hum in unison, reminding us that innovation and controversy share the same heartbeat, pulsing at different tempos. Every highway mile these rebels travel vibrates with ancestral harmony. April's breathy dare, Loretta's firebrand grin, Dolly's rhinestone wink, Tammy's tremor, Mindy's confession, Faith's silk, Jessica's denim crossover, Kacey's cosmic twirl, Nikki's rasp, and Margot's thunder all layer into a single chord progression that refuses to resolve. Old cassette hiss still lurks beneath modern mastering, reminding listeners of every fierce past battle. The polished sheen of today's country disguises 70 years of bruises, ban letters, and triumphant returns, proof that censorship can delay a truth but never erase it. Someday soon, a newcomer will livestream from a weather-beaten barn, singing about crypto crashes and OnlyFans rent money over a trap beat laced with fiddle. Opinion pages will predict the genre's demise, Sponsors will yank ads, streams will spike, and teenagers will memorize every daring lyric. The uproar won't signal the end. It will announce the next chapter. Backstage, the ghosts of every woman who once sang too boldly will grin, crank the reverb, and whisper, "Sing it louder." In the end, scandal, seduction, and fearless self-disclosure form a forge hotter than July asphalt in Texas. Many step inside. Few emerge, hardened into legend. The women of this chronicle did more than survive controversy. They wielded it, steering storm winds into stadium sing-alongs. They proved a voice grows stronger when it refuses to hush for comfort, and their stories still echo a promise to future rule breakers. The louder the truth rings, the longer it lasts. And so the needle lifts, the silence falls, but the resonance remains. It vibrates in bar rooms, suburban minivans, streaming queues, wherever someone dares to turn lived chaos into song. History insists the next forbidden chorus is already tuning up, ready to prove that authenticity, amplified, finds its audience. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.